Hello and welcome back to Bello Kitchen. It's Good Friday, Easter weekend, long weekend coming up. It's a lovely day here, not quite as warm as it was last weekend, but still beautiful. And we're going to be doing some Easter baking today. So I realise that it's only 9:30 on Good Friday, and probably most of you are still in bed. But I'm going to be making hot cross buns today, and so there's quite a lot to do in preparation for that. I hope you enjoy the film and that you bake them too. So hot cross buns are really just an enriched dough. So we use the regular suspects of flour, yeast, salt, and I'm adding obviously sugar, a bit of butter, and a bit of milk. And I'll show you how to do that now. So there was a moment of madness on Facebook which involved a Viking, but he's buggered off now. So I'm going to start making the enriched dough, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. So I'm going to make these a little bit healthier, and I'm going to use a mix of wholemeal and white bread flour. So I've probably got about 50-50 here, and this goes straight into the mixer. So in with the flour, I've got some sugar, some yeast, 3 teeny little eggs, these gorgeous eggs that were brought to me by my neighbour the other week, 40 grams of butter, some salt. So this all needs to be mixed together, which I'm doing in my gorgeous Smeg stand mixer. And I'm going to put it on very light to begin with, just to combine all the ingredients. And as this slowly combines, I've got 240 ml of warm milk and water mix. And I'm just going to slowly start to pour this in. I may not need all of it. You kind of need to judge how it's all coming together. Because you don't want the dough to be too wet, but at the same time you don't want it to be too dry. I think I'm going to use all of my 240 ml of milk. This is pretty much perfect, and I've got this much milk left. And so I'm going to leave this on a medium knead. Actually, I might just turn up a little bit. And I'm going to come back to it in about 10 minutes. See you then. Just a little progress on the dough. This is after about 5 minutes. Looking good. So I reckon we're pretty much done now. That's about 10 minutes. Oh. And, oh, sorry about this. If I pull this out, you can see how lovely and soft it is. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of oil, a little bit of vegetable oil or light olive oil. Put this on the work surface. Take this out of here, which I can't do with one hand. I got it. Put this onto the oil. Oil the inside of the bowl, again, which I'm probably not going to be able to do with one hand, and put the bread back in there. So that's the dough back into the oiled bowl, and I'm going to cling film that and let that sit for about an hour or until it doubles in size, before I add all the rest of the lovely ingredients. Hey, welcome back to Bello Kitchen. So it's been about an hour. I'm just going to check on the rise of the dough. It's a little bit chilly here, so I think I'm going to have to leave it for about another hour. So I've lost patience, and we're just going to go in and carry on with the next stage because it's going to need another rise in a minute anyway. So I'm not too worried about it. We're about here, which is gorgeous. It's lovely and soft. To the dough, I've got 150 grams of mixed, it's basically mixed fruit left over from Christmas that's got peel in it. And then I've got some finely grated orange zest and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And that's just going to go into the dough. And even though it's a little bit unusual, I'm also going to put in some vanilla bean paste as well, just because I love it really, and I think it makes things taste gorgeous. And that goes back into the mixer with the dough hook Look at that. And that's just going to be very slowly blended in until it's all combined. And I reckon we're done. I just realised there's also glacé cherries in this fruit mix. So this is going to be quite an unusual hot cross bun mixture, but I think it'll be gorgeous. So I've oiled the bowl again, and then this stuff will just go into, excuse me, this will just go into there, and I'm going to cover it in cling film tightly, and I'll see you in about an hour. I realise it's pretty tiring and boring probably waiting for the dough to rise, but what you should have done whilst you're waiting for my dough to rise is to make your own hot cross buns. So I'm assuming you've all done that. This is where we are at the moment. I might make a call on it. I think I can wait for another 5 or 10 minutes. Well, we're back in the kitchen and we have a gorgeous, gorgeous rise on our bread. Let's take it around. Look at that, and it smells so incredibly cinnamony and fruity. So I'm just gonna punch it down. Oh, it's so soft and warm. And I'm gonna tip it out and divide it. Just gonna lightly flour surface. Take this out onto here. So I've moved my overhead camera so you can see what I'm doing, and I'm going to divide this into 12 equal portions. My maths was never very good, but I'm assuming this is 12. And then each one of these gets rolled into a round. Don't know if you can hear in the background, but the Vikings listening to Aladdin, which is really funny. And you just keep going until you fill your tray with all 12. Like this. And then these need about half an hour to rise again. And what I do is put them into a bag. I've got a large kind of bin bag thing here. And they'll just sit in here. So while we're waiting for the hot cross buns to rise, I'm going to make the little cross that goes on the top. I've got 75 grams of plain white flour, and I've got a tablespoon of cocoa powder to make them special. And to this mix, I'm just going to add about 75 ml of water, and I'm just going to mix it all together until I get a nice smooth paste. So you want it quite thick, but it still needs to have a dropping consistency so that it'll be able to be piped on to the little buns. Now, as you can see, it's been about half an hour and they've risen beautifully and they're nice and thick. And so I'm going to pipe the crosses on. I haven't actually got a piping bag, so I've made my own piping bag out of Vacona paper. And I'm just going to fill this little piping bag. Ooh. Probably overfilled it a little bit, but it's kind of effective. And I'm just going to snip the end off like that and start piping. I really just want to run a line of the piping mix across the buns one way. Nice thick line. Oh, it's all going everywhere. Sorry, I had a bit of a disaster with the piping bag there, so I'm after making another one. But you can see I've gone one way along, and now I'm going to go the other way. Just going to quickly rustle up another piping bag with this. And then you just want to go back up when you've sorted your piping bag out. You just want to go the other way to create your cross. So easy. And here are my finished hot cross buns with chocolate crosses. Wholemeal hot cross buns with chocolate crosses. Going to go into the oven on about 190 for 20 minutes. Here they are in the oven. Whilst they're in the oven, I'm going to make a glaze to go on the top. Now normally you'd use apricot jam, but I'm going to use honey and a couple of halves of orange. And you just want to stir the honey and the orange juice together. And then this you're going to brush over the hot cross buns when they come out of the oven. So the hot cross buns are done and out of the oven. Oh, look at those beauties. Now I'm going to glaze them. So I've taken them off the tray, but they're on a little wire rack to cool. And I've got the glaze, which is honey and orange juice. And I'm just going to brush them all over with the glaze. I'm really pleased with how these have come out, these gorgeous little chocolate crosses on the hot cross buns. And I'm going to leave them here to cool completely before we tear into them and devour the lot.